Hello everybody, it is Danny, aka Crowley, and this is a beginner's guide to Leaf Green, episode 3. Last episode we made our way through Viridian Forest, we caught ourselves a new Pidgey named Cortina, and we managed to take out the gym leader Brock at Pewter City. Not only that, but we did get the running shoes at the very end of the episode, and we'll be continuing on to what I believe is Route 3. Yes, we're on to Route 3. And we'll be going through Mount Moon, the first official dungeon of the game. So first, I'm going to see who we have in front here, and I'm going to switch in Katrina, because Shell Shocker, as you can see, he's level 13, and Katrina's only level 11. So she needs a little bit of experience, you know, we need to balance the team out. So I'm going to go over to this last right here, and make our way through Route 3. As you can see, there are a myriad of trainers on this route, so bring some potions along because it is going to get a little hectic. But don't worry, they're all pretty low leveled, especially if you train a bit for Brock, and they also give pretty decent experience considering it is still the beginning of the game. So it shouldn't be too much of a problem for you, but as you can see, it is taking quite the toll on Katrina, as she's losing some pretty significant experience. Or HP rather, during this battle. But that shouldn't be a problem for us, as this next trainer is a bug trainer, and I have a flying type. So he's going to go ahead and send out his Caterpie. And while we go through these trainers, I'm just going to explain what we are doing this episode. This episode, we're going to make it through Route 3, and hopefully make it through the entirety of Mount Moon. And we will eventually reach the other side, which comes out in a town called Viridian City. And in Viridian City is where the second gym leader is. And hopefully, ideally, we're going to be capturing another Pokemon for my team. Because we don't really have anything for Misty. She's a water type trainer, and I only have Squirtle and Pidgey, which will not cut it at all. So I'm definitely going to pick something up for her. Now, I didn't really talk about type advantages with Brock, but he's a relatively easy gym leader. So if you have Mankey or Bulbasaur or Squirtle by this point in the game, you should be fine. However, Misty is more challenging, and she requires super effective Pokemon because she's difficult. More difficult than Brock is by far. Brock is very much just a warm-up to introduce gym leaders, so I wouldn't take beating him as too good of a sign, although if you have beaten him, awesome, good job. By all means celebrate that, but don't think you're out of the woods just yet. Now there are only two types that are super effective against water, and that is electric and grass. So if you have Bulbasaur by this point, you're fine, you're good. If you have Pikachu, you're awesome. If you have Pikachu and Bulbasaur, don't worry about it. Seriously, you don't need to touch anything. You're fine. You're absolutely going to destroy Misty. But I don't have a grass or an electric type, so we're going to have to change that this episode. And I know exactly where to get one, but we will cross that bridge when we get to it. And as you can see, there are a lot of trainers on this route, which is good for me, so I need all that experience, all of it, as much as we can get, because I am not intending on grinding for another while, and quite frankly, it takes up way too much time, so if I ever do grinding, I'm probably going to do it off screen from now on. Just a warning for you guys, because it takes a lot of time to grind sometimes. And I know you guys don't want to, you know, sit here for an hour and watch me grind. That's boring. That's actually really boring. I don't even want to see me do that. So you probably noticed I'm still taking long pauses. That's because my voice is still kind of hoarse. I'm still fighting that sickness, but I should be done with it in a few days, hopefully. In the meantime, I still have a beverage here. Today I have a glass of milk, because frankly that's the best drink there is. I mean, you can't do better than that. And right, okay. So I was talking about getting my third Pokemon, which is something I don't use a whole lot. So bear with me. Uh, but it is very interesting, and I am very excited to actually use it because I don't get to that often, and I think it's really cool. So we're gonna make our way down here, and there's actually something I want to talk about here. Do you see this little patch of darkness right here that's really different from the other grass? Yeah, that is actually a secret location where an item is. So you go over and you click on it, and there is an oranberry in this grass. Now there are bunches of these throughout the game, so if you ever see them, go tap on them. I will make sure to get them as well, so if you ever need help locating them, I got you. Now, berries are very unique. With this oranberry here, what happens is I can allow my Pokemon to hold it by going into my party and selecting the give option, which I will demonstrate in a second. And I can give it the oranberry, and what it'll do is during a battle, if my HP gets too low, it'll automatically restore 10 HP for me, which is awesome. It's not as much as a potion, but it is awesome. So what you do is, say we go to Shell Shocker, you go to item, and it'll say either give or take. If a Pokemon has an item on it, you can take it from it. Sometimes wild Pokemon will hold items, and sometimes they're not very good items. So you might need to take them, but we're going to give Shell Shocker our oranberry, just as a heads up. And once his HP gets too low in a battle, he will restore it automatically with that oranberry by eating it. Now, like TMs, berries are only one use only, so be careful with when you use them. Now, some berries restore HP, some restore paralysis, or poison, or burn. And it really just varies depending on what berry it is. But we'll go through all of those eventually. For now, we're just kind of mindlessly grinding, but we're almost through Route 3, so we're doing pretty good. I mean, I've only had to use a few potions at the very beginning there, but Katrina and Shell Shocker seem to be holding their own quite nicely, which is what I would expect from this team. Now, you see that patch of grass there? I'm not actually going to go to it just yet. I am going to fight the Jigglypuff trainer and make my way down to the final edge of the route. And see here, this Jigglypuff just used Sane and put Katrina to sleep. Now, I can just easily switch into Shell Shocker and take care of this. But if you ever need to combat that, there is these things called Awakenings that will allow you to cure sleep for your Pokemon. But switching out does that quite nicely. And we are close to a Pokemon Center, actually, so I'm going to run over there. And we're going to explore that patch of grass very soon. But for now, I need to heal. And this is Route 4. There is nothing on it but a Pokemon Center. So do not worry about catching Pokemon on Route 4. There are none, but there is a berry up here, and I believe it's a raspberry, if I can get to it. Nope, it's a Persimberry. Persimberries are actually pretty good. They heal confusion. I don't know if I went over that, but essentially it's like paralysis, but instead of having a 50% chance of not moving, it has a 50% chance of hitting itself, which does a slight amount of damage, and is really annoying. But now we have this patch of grass over here, which contains not only Pidgey, Rattata, Spearow, and Mankey, which we've already seen before, but also two new Pokemon, Jigglypuff, which we just saw that girl use, and Nidoran. Now, Nidoran is very unique in the fact that its two forms appear on different patches of grasses depending on the game. However, both of them are obtainable in both versions of the game, and they're in the Safari Zone. So do not worry about not getting one or the other. As you see here, this is a Nidoran. There are two variants. There is Nidoran male and Nidoran female. If you are playing the Fire Red version of this game while following along, you will encounter a Nidoran male. It is very much different. It is a violet color. Its ears are spiky and pointed up, and has a huge horn sticking out of the middle of its head. The one I have is Nidoran female. It is blue. Its ears are toned back, and it looks really cute. But we're not going to use it because I don't really want to. There's no use for it on my team right now, and it's not going to help me against Misty, as it is a poison type, and actually the first poison type outside of Bulbasaur you encounter in the game. It's really cool. I'm actually going to switch Katrina out here, because our boy Shellshocker is actually pretty darn close to evolving, which is really, really exciting. I love Shellshocker's final evolution, and I really want to see it so badly, because it is really choice, and is one of my favorite Pokemon in the entire game. However, don't let that bias sway you. You already have your favorites, I will have mine. It is completely different. Now this right here is a Jigglypuff. It is a normal type Pokemon, and it has the ability Sing, which is really annoying. And as you can see there, it is holding an Oranberry, which is exactly what will happen with my Shellshocker if his HP gets a little too low. Now the thing with catching Wild Jigglypuff, if you want to use it, by all means, it's not a very great Pokemon, and on top of that, it does not have any moves when you first catch it. It simply has Defense Curl and Sing, which are non-damaging moves. So if you feel like getting a Jigglypuff, by all means do so, but I do not recommend it. This man over here will sell you a Magikarp for $500. This is also the first obtainable water type in the game outside of Squirtle. I'm not going to buy it because it only has the move Splash, and Splash does absolutely nothing. Literally, it does nothing, and it's a useless move. I do not recommend it whatsoever. But if you want to get a Magikarp, it will evolve into something called Gyarados, which is amazing. And Gyarados is a really amazing Pokemon. So if you want to train it, by all means do so. And now we are in Mount Moon. This is the first dungeon in the game. And it is the smallest dungeon in the game, unfortunately, because some people do get lost in here. But that's okay. I'm here to show you how to navigate it. But this is one of the most infamous Pokemon in the game. This is a Zubat. Zubat are poison flying, and they are known for being extremely annoying. Their beginning moveset consists of Supersonic, a confusing move, Leech Life, which is kind of like, it deals damage to your Pokemon, and then heals its own damage, which is really annoying, and it also has Astonish, which causes the Pokemon to flinch, which is much like Paralysis, except for one turn, if that makes sense. And we're going to kill this, because I don't want to use Zubat. Its evolution isn't terrific. Now, the other Pokemon that is most notorious in this cave is Geodude, and we're probably going to run into one pretty soon. Not now, that's actually a Zubat, but it is a rock ground type. You saw Brock use it. It's actually not too bad. It requires you to trade it, in order for it to evolve. So if you're playing an emulator like I am now, it's not going to be able to evolve at all. I'm sorry to say. So I wouldn't recommend it, but if you're playing, on either your DS or your Game Boy or whatever, I'd recommend picking it up if you want a rock type for your team. It's pretty solid. And you're probably wondering why I switched Shellshocker out when he's so close to F-Evolution. Because this is a bug trainer, and I did not want Shellshocker to get poisoned or something when I could easily have Katrina take care of it. And with this, Shellshocker is going to grow to level 16, and after this video, after this battle, he is going to evolve like that. He is going to be evolving into War Turtle. I'm very happy about this. I love the final evolution. This is not it. It will not reach that into level 46, or level 36 rather. But we are one step closer to having it, and look at that. That is so cool. Now you see the numbers of the stats over here on the right. When your Pokemon evolves, those will increase dramatically. as you can see, comparatively, Shell Shocker has superior stats. That's because he is evolved Pokemon. Once Katrina evolves, which is going to be very, very soon here, the same thing will happen to her, and her stats will increase dramatically as well. We are running into, yet again, another Zubat. You can see why I find these things annoying. Yes, they are. They're really, really annoying. And they just really bug me. And, yeah. Now, this last here has a Pokemon that also is found in Mount Moon, but not until one of the bottom floors. This is a Clefairy. It is another normal type. And personally, if you want to get one, either this or Jigglypuff, I would recommend this, personally. It gets way better moves, and it starts out with better moves. And it's just all around a greater Pokemon, personally. But neither of them are terrific. I'm sad to say. Because I actually kind of like Clefairy, and in some ways Jigglypuff. But that's not what I'm looking for. What I'm looking for is right down this ladder. Now the Pokemon I'm about to get is going to help me immensely when it comes to Misty. And it's going to appear right away because it's the only Pokemon that appears in this dungeon. It's this, Paris. Paris is a bug grass type, and it is awesome. I love it. Look how cute it is. It's so adorable. Little shrooms on its back. I just love it. I love Paris. And we actually got this one right where we want it. Perfect. Right there. So I'm going to catch this bad boy and add her to my team. I am very pleased by this. This is one of my guilty pleasure Pokemon, I suppose. It's not something that's too terrific, but I enjoy using it so thoroughly. Now, I'm not actually too sure what I want to name her. I'm going to name her after the only mushroom species I know. Right here. And this is, I only know this because I think it's 2 L's. I might be wrong. I'm just gonna go with that. The only reason I know this mushroom species is because of a little known book called A Series of Unfortunate Events, where one of the kids eats one of these, and it is a poisonous mushroom, just to reference the shrooms on its back. And as you can see, it is holding a tiny mushroom, so we're going to take that from her. It's not that terrific. It's just something you can sell for a relatively high price. It's about the same amount as a potion, roughly. Not too big of a deal, but I don't want her holding it. And actually, I'm going to use this TM that we found over on the other side of the cave, called Bullet Seed. Is a grass type move. It's very unique in the fact that it will hit a Pokemon repeatedly multiple times. So I'm going to give that to her. She only has Leech Life right now. So there, we taught it Bullet Seed, and this is actually when I end the episode. So I will see you later, guys. Thanks for watching. My name is Danny, aka Crowley. I love your guys' faces, and I'll see you tomorrow.